Hello, this is Team Solo with our progress report for the Smart Classroom. I am the sole member, Daniel Williams. Since I'm the only member, I went ahead and just did one bullet list for the progress summary, which will also be my individual contributions. So far, what we've been focusing on is the hardware, the Raspberry Pi code, and implementing the seating chart and attendance for the classroom, since that seemed like it was the most important. So what we've done is have set up the motion detecting RFID scanner, and that's working connected to the database. The majority of the forms for the web control have been created, which you'll be able to see. The database is fully set up with all the fields and documents that it'll need, and it's been populated with test data. The seating chart displays and is connected to the database, so the changes on the hardware will be reflected in the website. The seats can be assigned and absences are displayed, and I added emulation for multiple sets of hardware so that I can pretend to have more seats than I actually have available. The hardware structure hasn't changed since the first presentation video. We have the camera module, which will connect to the Raspberry Pi, the desk module, which has the numpad, the RFID reader, and the ultrasonic ranging sensor, which will be at every desk. The web server and the lecture display both connect to the Raspberry Pi as well. The software structure also hasn't changed. We will have the ability to record and save lectures. What we have right now is the ability to record attendance, and we can update class information and seating chart information from inside the browser, and will also allow the lecturer to collect student responses with the numpads. Here is the circuit diagram for the project. All the hardware has been set up. We have the numpad connected for getting input and also for changing the hardware emulation, and then we have the ultrasonic ranging sensor and the RFID sensor all set up. The only thing not pictured here is the camera, which is connected directly to the Raspberry Pi. We haven't identified any major roadblocks so far. There was one minor issue in that we were not able to set up enough hardware for all the desks. Each desk is going to need its own Raspberry Pi with numpad, ultrasonic ranging sensor, and RFID scanner. So as a fix to that, right now the program will allow you to change which desk hardware you're emulating with the numpad, and that's how I'm getting around that. For the demo, I'll start by showing you the code that's running on the Raspberry Pi. If I run that, it starts by showing you this prompt to change the seat number. If you want to change the seat number, you just type what number you want to change to and then press pound. So I'll change to 12. And now I'm assigned a seat, or I'm emulating seat number 12. And then I've got two RFID chips. Each of them has a different user ID stored in the first block of the RFID chip. So this would be like using your ID card. Whenever you sit down at your desk, you would quickly scan it in front of the RFID scanner, and then it will record your ID and compare you to the seat that you're trying to sit in. Here is the Smart Classroom control panel. You can see we've got some of the information about the class, the name of the class, the starting, ending time, and what days the class meets. These are all connected to the database, and you can edit these. And the starting and ending time and the days will be used for automatically recording the videos so that the lecturer doesn't have to remember to do that themselves. We have a class list that you can view. I've got some temporary values in here. You'll be able to remove those and add new students to the class list. This is not implemented currently though. And then you get the seating chart, which this is kind of a template for how a class would look. Each desk is shown here in rows and columns. You can see who is currently sitting at the desk and who the desk is assigned to. It can be unassigned, or you can have it assigned. If you have a seating chart, you could have students assigned to each seat. And you can see because I chose seat 12 and scanned my ID for that, I'm showing up as being seated at this seat, even though it's assigned to Seth, so I'm sitting at his desk right now. And then here are the people who are on the class list but are not sitting in a seat right now, so these are the people that's showing up as absent. And if I want to change who's assigned to the seats, that is implemented and I can do that. And if I scan someone in, let's see, do that real quick. Let's go to C13. I've scanned the other card that I have, which I believe I have set to Seth. And if I refresh the page, you can see that now he's assigned to seat 13. And he's no longer showing as absent. Okay, and that's what I've got so far. Thanks.